Howdy, I'm Gabby the Clown, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite PBS Kids shows. I didn't grow up with cable, so I just had PBS and Netflix for the most part. And honestly, every PBS Kids show is pretty fire. There aren't really any, awful ones, in my opinion, except for Caillou. Caillou sucked. But that's not new information. Alright, spoilers for Odd Squad, Fetch with Ruff Ruffman, Word Girl, and Arthur. Also, the topic of this video is technically for kids, but my video is not for kids. If you're a child, get out! Be gone! Get away! And yeah, let's get right into the video. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about what seems to be the most popular PBS Kids show, at least according to my poll. It absolutely decimated it. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about Odd Squad. I still love this show. I still love all the shows I'm going to talk about today, but Odd Squad especially. In my opinion, it never, there are no bad episodes of Odd Squad. You can turn on any episode and it's gonna be great. So it's basically what tells you the basic plot of the series every time it starts. They're an organization run by kids to investigate anything strange, weird, or especially odd, and their job is to put things right again. And for the first season, we follow Olive and Otto, and they're the typical sunshine and no nonsense character dynamic. And I love them so much. They have such a good dynamic. They're such good friends. I love them. And their boss is Miss O, who is a very mysterious character. Honestly, we don't really she could be a million years old. Honestly, we don't know how she's stayed alive so long. At least I don't think they ever explain it. I think they tease it sometimes, but they never fully oh yeah, it's the juice keeping her young or something else like that. I think it's the juice boxes, but that's just me. Yeah. And there's a scientist named Oscar, and Oscar is awesome. They have a whole song about it, actually. He was always my favorite character growing up. He's very silly. They're all very silly, but Oscar especially. And they've got so many cool villains. One of the main antagonists, Odd Todd, was Olive's former partner growing up. Well, they're grown up. They're always kids. But yeah, Odd Todd was Olive's former partner. But he turned evil because he wanted to make the world odd, and that's against the rules. Because he got bored. He was I'm too smart for this. This is boring. I'm just gonna make problems so I can solve them. So he got kicked out. But he still sometimes tries to get Olive to join him on the dark side. You can beat Odd Taliv, and Olive's ew. He also gave Olive an irrational fear of pies because the incident that made him get banned from Odd Squad is that he made a pie hurricane tornado thing in their headquarters, and Olive had to stop it. So she's terrified of pie. So that's her little quirk. And her partner Otto is very silly. He and like everyone else have like an obsession with this boy band. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But everyone loves the band, but Olive hates it sometimes. Because sometimes she loves it. And it's not like a mistake, like other characters acknowledge, like, wait, I thought you hated these guys, and she's like, oh, I changed my mind. And then like another episode, and then like the next episode she'd be like, oh, I hate those guys. And they're like, what? I thought you liked them again. I was like, no, I hate them now. So it's very funny. And Otto is a sweet guy. He's very nice. He helps Olive like mellow out over the course of the series, like significantly. And by the end of like the season, Olive and Otto get a promotion to become the Miss and Mr. O of their own headquarters, which is very awesome. But then we don't really see them again outside of like a movie that I will talk about if I remember to. And then after they get sent out, the scientist guy Oscar's like, man, will we ever find agents as good as them? And then Miss O is like, let's find out. Here come the new recruits, and then we meet the new main characters. Otis and I think it's Olympia? Hang on. Sorry, I had to consult with my younger brother. Yeah, it is Olympia. So the new characters are Otis and Olympia, and they have a similar dynamic to Olive and Otto, but it's just different enough, because like Olive, despite being like uptight, wasn't always serious. Like she could be silly sometimes. Otis is like super serious. Like if you've seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he's like Captain Holt as a child. Like he's extremely no nonsense. And his like little quirk is that he's scared of ducks and he hates them. And we find out later that the reason he hates ducks is because he used to be a villain who was like raised by evil ducks before he got taken in by Odd Squad. So that when he sees ducks, it reminds him of his horrible past. Yeah, it's like a whole like thing, like Miss O let a villain into Odd Squad, and it's like this whole like conspiracy or whatever. But it works out in the end. Like he saves the squad from another villain, and they forgive him for having been a villain in the past and lying to them. There's other characters. So scientist guy Oscar later on ends up getting replaced by new scientist girl Uma. I love her so much. She's such a goofball, but her episodes are always absolutely unhinged. Like there's this, like the one that stuck out to me the most is this one where she accidentally gets trapped in another dimension where all humans are replaced with just exercise equipment, and like the only gadget she really has is like a garlic bread maker. So she's screwed, and like the whole episode plays out kind of like is like a found footage thing where she's like recording herself being trapped in this other dimension and like trying not to go crazy because she doesn't have it. She's like the only human in that universe, and like all she has to eat is garlic bread. And like she eventually like manages to escape by like combining like a bunch of the garlic bread inators to make another portal-onator or whatever. Because how gadgets work in this universe is each gadget has a number, and you can add gadgets onto other gadgets to make the gadget that you need. So yeah, it's like a thing that they do all the time, like for like to like teach addition and stuff, because Odd Squad is the math show. And it's funny that this one's one of my favorites because I hated math growing up. I hated it. Like, one time I tried to run away from home because my mom was making me do math. I didn't get far. I like stopped like right as I was about to go like turn around the block. Like I stopped and I started crying. But then my mom picked me up. So yeah, Baby Gabby story time. But yeah, the show that's like teaching you about math was my favorite. So that's pretty ironic to me. There's another character that I really love called Afusco, and he's like the most like quirky of the bunch. They all have like a quirk or a gag. Afusco is just like a little freak. He's like a little cowboy guy, and he says the most random stuff. Like he'll be like, "This is just as beautiful as a flamingo wearing ketchup and dancing in rain boots." And then he'll do like a little like a little shimmy, and everyone's like, "What?" And then he'll just like tip his hat and go, "Afusco," and then disappear. Like, he's such a little weirdo. And there's an episode where like, oh my gosh, I don't remember exactly what he loses. I can't remember if he loses his hat or his mustache. Or both. But he loses one of his like quirky like things, and it starts making him like normal, and he can't do his job because like him being a weirdo is how he's so good at his job. So they have to like help make him weird again, which is kind of funny because their whole mission statement is we have to make things not odd anymore, which is kind of a lie because like everything about their organization is weird. So it's less about getting rid of chaos and more so like controlling it, because there's times where like, okay, so like every episode opens with the two main characters of their respective season helping some random person with an odd problem, like noises in their house are switched up so that like a toilet flushing actually sounds like a doorbell or whatever. Or like somebody has a fireplace in their stomach. But instead of fixing it, sometimes the person will just be like is the fireplace person was like, "Oh no, I don't mind having a fireplace stomach. I just want some marshmallows to like be able to toast them or whatever." And they're just like, "Oh, okay," and then they give him marshmallows. So yeah, it's less about getting rid of the weirdness and more so about like keeping it like contained or like somewhat managed so that it's not bothering people. To add to the point of like the squad itself is weird, there's these other agents who are like rivals to the first two, Otto and Olive. And one of them is Olaf. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. Because like his whole gag is that he says that he's always like, "I'm like to like everything. It's like, I am Groot. I am Olaf. What do you know about Olaf? This guy is like, so he's a werewolf. And I guess it's not super surprising because like one of his like many quirks is that he's constantly like howling, and everybody's like, what are you doing? But then later on it's revealed he's a werewolf. And also he loves potatoes. He has a whole song about it. That goes, potato, potato, potato boy. So yeah, everybody's very quirky and silly, and I love them all very much. They're just a bunch of little goobers. Oh, and there's a movie that has Fix-It Felix Jr. in it. Or the voice actor, not like the literal character. You know what I mean. And he's the villain. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember his name currently. I think it's like Norm or something like that. But he starts a rival organization to Odd Squad that's run by adults called Weird Team. And they actually end up putting Odd Squad out of business because they fix everything odd in the world. Or at least that's what it looks like, because they find out later that that he wasn't actually fixing anything. He was just using an illusionator or whatever to make it look like he solved the problems, but they were still actually there. So Odd Squad has to take him down. And then it's revealed like, oh, I only did this because you never let me into Odd Squad, and you were so mean to me. And then Miso's like, the boss lady Miso's like, dude, I just said you needed to go back to the academy. Like, I didn't say you couldn't join us. And he was like, oh. Can I join now? No, you're an adult now. It's like, it's too late, man. And he's like, aw, shucks. Because once you join Odd Squad, you just don't age. Or at least that's how it seems. It's hard to tell, actually, because, like, in, like, a flash forward, the later on main characters, Olympia and Otis, are shown as, like, old people in the future. So either they left Odd Squad, or you can age out of Odd Squad. So, I'm not sure. Maybe Odd Squad, like, just slows down the aging process. I'm convinced that it's the juice boxes, though. I think it's like a Boss Baby type situation. So, like, Miss O, the boss lady, has been around since at least, like, the 1800s. Like, cowboy times, you know? But she hasn't aged a day. Like, she still looks 10. Like, throughout the series. Like, 10 at the oldest, really, like, and, like, other characters comment on it, like, wow, Miss Soul, you're like, ancient, and she's like, thank you, I haven't aged a day. But the reason I don't think that Odd Squad is the reason that she hasn't aged, because her old partner, O'Donohue, also hasn't aged, but he's not really part of Odd Squad anymore, at least not much. He kind of retired and is just like every time they go to find him, he's just fishing and wearing a fake beard. So, like, he hasn't aged, but he, like, tries to make himself look like an adult, so, like, maybe they can't age. Like, maybe, like, something happened to, like, the original Odd Squad crew, so, like, they can't age, even if they wanted to. 'Cause, like, the big boss of Odd Squad, not Miss O, or, like, anybody, like, they call him the Big O, and he's in charge of literally everything, like, every branch of Odd Squad. But, like, towards the end of the series, like, he shows up gracious, he wants to retire, and he's all like, he looks like 4. He looks like 4 at the oldest. He's like a toddler. And he's like, well, I've been putting off kindergarten for a long time now. I guess I should do it now. Goodbye, everybody. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's so weird, and it's like, it's never explained, at least not to my knowledge. But I kinda like that it's not explained, because it's fun to, like, ponder, you know? It's fun to, like, wonder about. Like, we know for a fact that, like, you can age in this universe, because, like, again, like, Olympia and Otis are shown to be, like, old people in like a flash forward, and they mention that Miss O, like, still looks the same or whatever. So yeah, it's really hard to tell. Maybe, yeah, I'm leaning towards, like, maybe there was, like, some, like, nuclear event, like, back in the 1800s or however old Miss O was, that, like, made her and, like, the rest of the gang stop, and, like, the rest of the original Odd Squad people just not age at all. That or it's the juice boxes, because Miss O is, like, one of her quirks is that she's, like, always drinking juice, and, like, she seems, like, addicted to it. Like, the villains, like, literally are able to bribe her with juice boxes. So I don't know if, like, they have the Fountain of Youth in those things, or whatever, but, like, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's actually a little odd. Got him. Yeah. Also, there's, aside from the villains, there's, like, other, like, adult characters. There's Delivery Debbie and Delivery Doug, who are, like, rivals. Delivery Debbie has, like, a pizza company, and Delivery Doug has an egg salad sandwich company. And he actually has, like, an eggmobile. And he takes his craft very seriously. Like, if somebody, like, ever comments, like, dude, why are you competing with a pizza company? Like, obviously the pizza is gonna win. People like pizza more than like, an egg salad sandwich. He gets very offended, like, how dare you? This is my legacy. And he's just kind of a dork overall. And Delivery Debbie is very sweet. She reminds me a lot of my aunt, actually. Like, she looks a lot like her. So yeah, I've always had, like, a soft spot for Delivery Debbie. She's a little, she's not the smartest, but then, like, nobody outside of Odd Squad is particularly smart. So, like, none of the adults are very smart. It's very much, like, the incompetent town with, like, heroes who have to do everything for them kind of thing. Yeah. But I do want to talk about the villains, actually. Because there's so many, and I love them all, like, a lot. There's this one specifically, Music Maker, and he's, like, barely even a villain, actually. Like, he's such a sweetheart. It's kind of like, Doofenshmirtz, where, like, he'll do, like, where he thinks that he's, like, super evil and, like, scary and whatever, but he's actually, like, just a guy who, like, isn't intimidating at all. Like, the worst thing he ever does is, like, make it so that, like, Miss O can't talk and like, make silly sounds. But bro just wants to, like, make music and stuff. Like, he doesn't really, like, want to hurt anybody. Like, most of the villains in the show don't really want to hurt anybody. They're pretty harmless. It's a nice show. It's very funny. and I think, like, it still holds up today. Like, as an almost 20-year-old, I still really love Odd Squad. And I probably always will. Like, it's one of those things that'll just stick with me, I think. Just stick with me forever and ever. Ooh, oh my gosh, I almost forgot about, like, one of the best characters, at least in terms of, like, being funny. Okay, sorry about the weird pause. I had to remember her name. Little brother to the rescue again. Her name's Orchid. And she's a little, like, terror, honestly. But she's very funny about it. She, like calls everything Sherman for some reason. Like, there's these little, like, pink fluffy creatures called centigrubes. And she, like, takes one and names it Sherman. And she's like, this is my best friend Sherman. But it isn't actually her best friend, because, like, Olive and Otto, like, bribe her with a briefcase of, like, toys or whatever. And she's like, okay, you can have him. La 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 la. She's like, and she's, like, kind of has, like, that energy, like, throughout the whole show. Like, she'll, like, get in the way, and then like have to be bribed to, like, actually, like, be helpful. And I kind of love her. She's kind of like DW a little bit, I guess. Like, I'm trying to think of a But yeah, she's a little brat, but I kind of love her. She's iconic. And there's a baby, which, like, also, like, confuses my whole, like, how do they not age, like, question. Because, like, as far as I'm aware, this baby Orson guy, like, wasn't around, like, during the 1800s or whatever, but he doesn't age either. So my nuclear event theory is puzzled. And he can't drink juice, so it's not the juice boxes. I don't know, man. He's like a baby. And there's, like, one episode where, like, somebody, like, the Big O's, like, little henchmen, the X's, are trying to, fire him for being useless, I guess. But then like, a bunch of characters always come in at the last second, like, wait! You can't fire Orson! He saved my life! And then it, like, has, like, a little flashback to the event that they're, like, claiming he did. And then, like, the X's are like, yeah, right, dude. Like, what do you mean baby Orson grew to the size of Godzilla and fought off a kaiju? Like, that didn't happen. But then he does in that episode, like, in front of them, and they're like, oh. Wow. It's very much like, Mater's Tall Tales, where, like, Lightning, one time I was the president of the United States, and McQueen's like, Mater, that did not happen. And then Mater's like, well, you should know, you was there too. And then, like, it turns out McQueen was there too, and McQueen's like, I don't remember any of that. But then something always happens by the end of the short to, like, prove Mater at least somewhat correct. That was a bit of a tangent. Yeah, the show is very wacky and silly and goofy. And like I said at, like, the beginning, there are no bad episodes of Odd Squad. All of them are goated. There are episodes that are better than others, but, like, there's no bad episodes, at least in my opinion. I think the whole show is really good. No notes from me. It's just it's just goated. There's a reason it won the poll. Alright, next I'm going to talk about what came in second on my poll, just barely, because Odd Squad absolutely destroyed everything. Fetch with Rough Ruffman. Oh my gosh, dude, I wanted to be on this show so bad. I still do, honestly. Like, if it ever comes back and like adults are allowed to participate, I will audition immediately. Like, I don't care where it is. I don't care what I gotta do. I want to be on this show, man. Cause this thing, gracious, this thing was so cool. First of all, I should probably explain what it is for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about. So Fetch was a kids game show where you had challenges and you like went to like different locations to like do these different challenges that like taught you how to do like science, arts and crafts, dancing, bagging groceries, like just like a wide variety of skills, like dentistry, forensic science for court cases, ghosts, like just like so many things, and I love it so much. And like also the host of the show, hang on one second, I'm so sorry about that. Got a letter. Anyway, yeah, main character Rough Ruffman, as Athena P would say, the titular bitchular. I love him so much. He makes me so happy. He's so silly. He's like such a savage too. Like, he's very sassy. But he also like cares like a lot about his his friends and stuff, and it's very sweet. Bro just wants to be loved, man. Like he just wants to be loved and respected, and he deserves it. He's a good boy. I don't care. Yeah, he makes me so sad sometimes though. Like nobody in his family like even likes him except for his nephew, and even then it's debatable. Like he just makes me so sad, bro. Like sure, he's a little bit of a jerk sometimes, but like you get why. Like he was abandoned as a puppy by his parents, and then like I think it's like at the end of the series, he finds his parents, and it turns out that they were like disguised as cats, and they started a rival game show that literally just rips him off, and like they stole all his like fame and popularity for no reason. I think there was a reason, but I don't really care, because what the heck, dude? And like I don't think they apologized to him for like abandoning him and giving him trauma. Like, and also like kind of ruining his life after they like stole his show. Like you can't just show up back in his life again after doing all this crap and then like I don't know. As you can see, I have not drawn him before, or at least not since I was a small child watching this show while it was airing. So he looks a little like Courage the Cowardly Dog. I haven't even seen Courage, but I know what he looks like. doing my best, y'all. But yeah, he's a silly little guy, and he's got an assistant who eventually becomes his boss named Blossom, and she's a black cat. She's really cool. She never says anything. She always just like nods or shakes her head or like looks on in disapproval. I loved Blossom as a kid. Like, I still do. But like as a kid, I loved her, dude. She was one of my favorite characters. And then there's also Chet the Mouse, who is like basically just like squatting in his house. He can't really get rid of him, so he's just kind of like an intern, I guess. Because he can't get rid of him. And like Chet the Mouse's whole gag is like, whenever Ruff asks him to do something, he like does like something that sounds similar to it, like I asked you to pick up a bus, not shave a cactus or something stupid like that. But yeah, the cartoon characters are very cool. I love all of them. Chet's fine. I love Blossom. I love Ruff so much. For like the actual like meat of the show, like the challenges and stuff, they were always so fun looking. Like even like the super mundane ones like looked really fun. Like my favorite ones, there was a forensic science one where they had to like prove that Ruff's grandma didn't help his criminal brother break out of jail. That one was so cool. The grandma probably should have stayed in jail because she sucks and is abusive to Ruff, but whatever. And there was like two haunted house specials. There was like two haunted house specials. There was one where it was like an escape room kind of, where they had to like solve a bunch of puzzles to figure like something out. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what the MacGuffin was for that episode. I don't remember what they were trying to find. But I just remember like thinking that it was so cool. And there was like one of the things I remember specifically was that there was like this like table full of different pies, and like in the like each pie had like a clue inside, and they had to like dig through the pies and like eat them to find the clue or whatever, and that was really cool to me. I also just like haunted houses, so like if you've seen my first 3 videos, you already know how I feel about spooky haunted houses. Absolutely obsessed, even like as a kid. Loved it. And yeah, there was another one where it was more so like less an escape room and more like solving a mystery, and they learned about Pepper's ghost, which is like how like the Haunted Mansion does like a lot of their effects. When it's like well, you'll have a prop, and then a mirror, and then you'll use light to reflect off of your prop and onto the mirror so that it looks like there's a ghost there. It's so cool, dude. And yeah, there was another one where they like went to like Pilgrim Times or whatever, and it was like boys versus girls, and they had to do like a bunch of different things, like sewing mattresses, or and like milking a goat or whatever. And there was like, and like one time they had like a breakfast there, and it was just berries and milk. And for some reason, like as a kid, I was like, that looks fire, and it was literally just raspberries and milk. Like, but like I was convinced like that looks like the most delicious delicacy. I must have it. So yeah, I've had it now, and it's like, it's raspberries and milk. Like, if you like raspberries, it's gonna taste good. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why like little Gabby was so obsessed with this one little bowl of fruit, but anyway, yeah, dude, like, the show is just so cool, and like, as I already said, there's like so much variety to it. Like, it was never just like, oh, this is a science show, or oh, this is an arts show, or this is a math show, or this is an English show. No, like, it taught you like anything and everything, bro. Like, and like the kids on the show were like insanely smart too, because like most of the puzzles, like, I could not figure out, dude. Like, cracking codes, like the only way I was able to like decipher the codes in my Gravity Falls Journal 3 is because I looked up a decoder. So I just wrote down like the code things and then like translated them. I didn't like do it the proper way where you like have to like figure it out on your own. Like, no, dude, who's got time for that, man? Like, I got a job. I got bills to pay. But yeah, yeah, it just looked so fun. And there was always like a reward at the end of the episode, but you had to like pick between A and B of something to like see if you got like a good prize or a bad prize. And like the bad prizes weren't even that bad. Like, it was always just like a gag, like, ooh, this little Rough Ruffman statue. Like, it's like that one gag in Smiling Friends, if you've seen it, where after Alan the Red Dude finishes like some job, Mr. Boss hands him like a little statue of himself. He's like, it's a little statue of me, Alan. I want you to have it. And then Alan's like, I don't really want this. And then Mr. Boss gets like super, like, just like stares at him, like jaw dropped, like offended. Like, anyway, it's like that. It's like that most of the time. Like, whenever they get a bad prize. But the good prizes are like insane, like water skiing and like trips to theme parks and stuff, bro. Like, it's crazy out here. But they usually ended up getting a gag gift, because like PBS doesn't have the money to send somebody like to like Disney World every week, bro. Like, yeah, I loved it. My brother and I really wanted to be on it as kids. I still want to be on it. If it ever comes back, I will audition. Probably won't get on, but I will audition. If they ever make it again, for adults. I probably wouldn't do very well though, because most of my knowledge is just like facts about like random media that I'm obsessed with, not really so much math or science. Life was misting its mystique, my squeaky toys all lost their squeak. And then, out of the blue, I saw the phone, and bam! My destiny was calling me. Pitched my vision for a show, they loved it, thought I was a pro. I got my contract back to find, to their alarm, a dog had signed. Fetch, ooh, I like that name. With Rough Ruffman. I didn't wait to renovate, found 6 contestants, all were great, and now I'm on the road to fame. I got a game show and its name is Fetch. It's very catchy, with rough men. It rolls off the tongue. Fetch, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, with rough men. Bro, I am not drawing him accurately at all. This does not look like him. Like, I'm looking at a picture of him, bro. I don't know, man. I'm trying my best. I know what he looks like, and it's not coming together, man. I don't know. This isn't Ruffman, but it's cute, I guess. Next, I'm gonna talk about the absolute GOAT, Word Girl. I think this one was like, okay, these were all my favorites as a kid, but like, Word Girl hits different, dude. It's so funny, and this was like the first thing. I think this was probably the first thing I ever heard Tom Kenny in. Famous voice actor for SpongeBob and the Icy King. Yeah, in this he plays Dr. Two Brains. And he's like a scientist guy who steals cheese, and that's like his whole thing. Because he has like a mouse brain. He like accidentally fused his body with like a mouse. So now he has like mouse urges, and he's like evil. Anyway, I should probably explain like the actual like main character before I like get into the villains. I just really like the villains. But yeah, the main character is Becky Botsford, or Word Girl. And she's from the planet Lexicon. So when you need a living dictionary, to save the wide world, then she's there. Word up. And she has a monkey sidekick named Captain Huggy Face, who is also an alien from said planet Lexicon. But for some reason, like, nobody like in the city like knows what he is. They always call him like an aardvark or whatever. Like, oh, what an adorable hedgehog or whatever. Like, are you stupid? They are. They're very stupid. Much like in Odd Squad, the people of the city are incredibly stupid. But it's not just like the adults. Like, there are a lot of stupid kids too. Like, Word Girl is pretty much like the only like competent character in the show. Like, for the most part, like, even like some of her villains are like complete morons. Like, there's the Butcher. I love him so much. He's such a sweetheart. But his whole thing is like, he's the butcher and he butchers words. Like he'll say like, don't think I'm stupid, I'm super continent. And then like Word Girl will be like, you mean competent? And he'll be like, oh yeah, that. He's very stupid, but I love him because he's silly and he's very sweet when he's not like doing crimes, like stealing stuff. And his whole gag is like meat, because he's the butcher. And he has meat powers, like he can shoot like various meats from his hands. Like he'll go pastrami, and then like it'll shoot like mountains of pastrami at them. But Captain Huggy Face usually just eats it all like immediately, because he likes to eat. Same dude. Like if I had the butcher's powers, I just like, dude, I love meat so much. one of my favorite food groups. So yeah, butcher, not a problem for me. And there's also, there's so many villains on the show, dude. I'm not gonna be able to talk about all of them, dude. But there's also Chuck, the evil sandwich making guy, and I also love him very much. He's very silly. They're all silly. It's basically redundant. Speaking of redundant, Lady Redundant Woman, brilliant name, absolutely amazing. And like, she has the power to like, make copies of herself, and also like copy other things. Her powers are like kind of crazy though, because like she actually like, she makes a copy of a painting, but then like the person like in the painting like comes to life. And she makes like an evil copy of Word Girl also, I think, unless I'm mixing that up with something else. But I digress. She's very powerful. Anyway, back to Chuck the evil sandwich making guy. Goodness gracious, I just completely glossed over him. Poor guy. Which is how he feels all the time, because he has a brother who constantly overshadows him, and that their mom likes more. So yeah, he isn't like most of the villains in this show like are like honestly too incompetent to be actually dangerous. And Chuck is one of them. Like he's like probably like the most redeemable aside from the butcher. Like bro just wants to make sandwiches. That's literally his only life goal. He just wants to make sandwiches and be happy. And they almost redeem him like a couple times, but his pettiness always like gets the better of him. Cause like he gets a job at Becky's school making sandwiches for the cafeteria. And everything's going really well. He's super happy. All the students and faculty like him. And Word Girl's like, "Wow, Chuck, I'm so proud of you. You're contributing to society and being awesome." But then like, some health inspector or whatever is like, "Hey Chuck, you have to wear a hairnet." And Chuck's like, "I don't have hair. My head is a sandwich." And they're like, "Yeah, but you still have to wear a hairnet." And Chuck like, is like, "Actually, no, I'm gonna, I don't like you guys anymore." And then he goes back to being a bad guy. I don't remember exactly what he does. I think he tries to crush the school with his giant panini press machine, but I don't fully remember what he does. But I do remember that he becomes a bad guy afterwards, because somebody was making him wear a hairnet, and it hurt his head. Like, it wasn't just that he didn't want to wear it just for no reason. It hurt his head, bro. Like, his head is a sandwich. It's not gonna like fit, like a hairnet doesn't like fit on his head, and it hurts his little head, and that makes me sad. And yeah, every time he tries to like become a good guy, something stupid like that happens. Yeah. Aside from Chuck, there's also, this is probably like the most iconic villain that she has, other than Dr. Two Brains, is Toby. Toby, I think his last name is McAllister. And he's Word Girl's age. I think he's the only kid villain aside from like some other girl that we'll talk about in a second. Okay, there's actually two. No, there's another one too. Never mind. Ignore what I just said about him being the only one. He's one of the few villains that's like actually Becky's age. And his whole deal is that he makes robots. That's how he says robots. He has like a funny voice. He's played by Patton Oswalt. That's pretty neat. Man, this cast was stacked. Anyway, yeah. His whole thing is that he makes robots, and he's scared of his mom, and he is insanely in love with Word Girl. Like, he is obsessed with her. Like, we got a little baby yandere in the making here, like, and like, sometimes I would ship it, and then other times I hated it. There was this one episode, I don't remember, like, the exact MacGuffin that, like, he had that was making Word Girl, like, hang out with him. But he and Word Girl, like, hung out for a day, and, like, he, like, kind of, like, tricked her into going on, like, these, like, kind of dates. Like, they got ice cream and went to a museum, and they were actually, like, bonding, like, really well. Like, because they have similar interests. But, like, in the end, like, his hubris is his downfall, and like, he can't help himself but be, like, a bad guy. And Word Girl, like, obviously she's the good guy, so she has to, like, stop him. So, like, yeah, even if there's, like, times where they're kind of cute, and I get why it's, like, a popular ship, I don't think it's ever gonna happen, bro. I don't think he's gonna redeem himself. Like, I can't really picture him, like, being better. Maybe, though. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, though. Yeah. Word Girl's the GOAT. Gave me a pretty good vocabulary along with, Series of Unfortunate Events. Which I'll probably talk about at some point, honestly, because I love those books, and every adaptation was good. Fight me. Anyway, so yeah, aside from her villains and there's also, like, the people in her normal life, like her family and her best friend, Violet. Violet, is a pretty controversial character. Some people love her, some people hate her. I liked her as a kid, but, like, rewatching the show now, I don't like her very much. She's just, like, annoying. I don't hate her. She's just kind of obnoxious. She doesn't really care about Becky's feelings, but, like, that's not really unique to her. Nobody really cares about Becky's feelings. Like, she's just expected to, like, always, like, always be there for people who are not there for her. Like, she, like, gives so much of herself, and, like, she doesn't really have anyone, like, also there for her. You know what I mean? Like, she has her parents, but, like, they're not particularly good parents, in my opinion. Like, they're constantly, like, getting angry with her for, like, disappearing. Like, I mean, I get that they don't know that she's a superhero, but, like, how do you not know that your, like, 12-year-old daughter, like, is a superhero? Like, she looks exactly the same. She doesn't hide her face at all, and she talks exactly the same and acts exactly the same, and she always goes missing when Word Girl shows up. And, like, she is literally transformed into Word Girl in front of her parents, and they just never noticed. And literally, dude, like, her origin story is that, like, she crash landed on Earth, and then her parents adopted her when they found her crash landed in the woods. So, like, how do you not know that your daughter is an alien, is, like, the alien superhero who looks and acts and talks exactly like your daughter? Like, what are you talking about? And then, like, there's an episode where she's, like, explaining her backstory, and the dad's like, wow, that's crazy. And then she's like, you were there, Dad, how do you not know this? And he was like, whatever. And it's like, bro, what? So yeah, they're not particularly great parents, in my opinion. They annoy me. And she also has a little brother, TJ, who's also annoying. But at least it's, like, it's understandable with him, because, like, little siblings are annoying. I like mine. I actually, like, I'm a weirdo, and I actually get along with my siblings, but, like, but yeah, for the most part, like, siblings, at least in media, like, don't really get along very well, and they don't like each other. it makes sense why, like, TJ and Becky, like, don't, like, get along or like each other very much. The weird thing is, that, like, TJ is, like, super obsessed with Word Girl, and he also doesn't realize that his sister is Word Girl, and, like, whenever she'll, like, correct, like, something about Word, like, he'll, like, say, like, a very incorrect fact about her, and then Becky will be like, actually, I think Word Girl is like this, and he'll be like, you don't know anything about Word Girl, Becky. His voice is very annoying, too. I'm sorry, Tom Kenny, I love you so much. The voice was not it for this guy. But yeah, her family isn't great. Her best friend kind of sucks. Like, her best friend Violet, I loved her as a kid. I thought she was cool. I liked her design. She was one of my favorites. And then, like, rewatching it today, I'm like, wow, she is a terrible friend. And maybe I didn't see it as a kid because I also had a terrible friend, kind of similar to Violet growing up, who was like, oh, why don't you care about my feelings? And then you do care about their feelings. But they don't, like, care about your feelings in return. Like, they'll just say mean things to you. But if you call them out for it, they'll be like, oh, but I didn't mean to make you upset. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. And it's like, okay, whatever. And you have to, like, kind of walk on eggshells around them, or else they'll get, like, upset. Like if you, like, say something wrong, they'll be like, I thought we were friends, and it'd be like, it'll be like, you take the last cookie, and they'll be like, but I'm your best friend, I should have the cookie, don't you love me? And it's like, yeah, okay, you can have the cookie, jeez. So yeah, Violet bothers me a lot more than she did as a kid, because, like, as a kid I was just like, oh, she's just like my best friend. But now I'm like, she's just like that, oh my gosh, she's just like that friend I had when I was a kid. So yeah, I do not care for Violet. How can you say that? She insists upon herself. But yeah, also, I probably won't talk about the PBS Kids website a lot, just because there was so much stuff. But on the PBS Kids website, there was, like, a little movie maker on the Word Girl section, and it was so cool. You got to, like, make your own characters, and you could, like, pose them, and you could pick, like, different backgrounds and props and stuff, and have, like, word bubbles and music. It was so cool. I was obsessed with that thing. I would, like, make mini movies, like, all the time. Like, one I made was, like, of my aunt and uncle and cousins, like, coming down to visit us, and it was just so fun. But then one day, like, it disappeared, so I guess it's gone forever now. I think it was probably part of Flash, so that's probably why it died. And that makes me sad. But yeah, Word Girl is awesome. It has an amazing theme song. Though to be fair, like, I'm pretty sure every PBS Kids show has an awesome theme song. Like, just bangers, dude. Yeah, it's also insanely funny. Like, if you haven't seen Word Girl, or if you just haven't watched it in a while, I'd highly recommend either watching the show or at least watching, like, a funniest moments compilation or something, because it's hilarious, dude. Also, I haven't seen Invincible, so this could be me making a fool of myself, but I have seen an edit where it shows Omni-Man and Mark's fight side by side with a Word Girl fight where she fights another alien who also has word powers and is also, like, just like the slightly more powerful version of herself, who was, like, her mentor for the whole special. and they're like very similar, and it's really cool actually. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'd highly recommend looking it up after this video, because it's really cool. Like, they even like end up in the subway. Obviously, Miss Power, the evil alien lady, doesn't like shove Word Girl's face through the train, but it's still crazy that they both like went like almost to like the same locations. Like Omni-Man throws Markham into space, and they fight a little bit up there, and then Miss Power throws Word Girl up into space, and they fight a little bit up there. Yeah, it's like a very similar fight, but obviously like kid-friendly version. It's really neat. Again, I haven't seen Invincible, so it's not like I didn't make my jaw drop or anything, but it was like still really cool. Also, if it was just if the video I saw was just like edited to make it look like they were similar and they weren't actually, please forgive me. I didn't know. I just saw a cool video that I thought was cool, guys. But yeah, definitely check out that video if you have any interest in it. It's very neat. And Word Girl in general is just very neat. Rewatch it if you have the time, or if you want to, because it's so good. So last but not least, I'm going to talk about Arthur. Arthur is very good. I don't really know how it was considered an educational show, to be honest with you. If it ever did have educational moments, I do not remember them. I just remember liking the characters and thinking that it was a funny show. Especially DW. DW is a very hated character. There's a whole series on YouTube called FUDW, and I like that series. It's very funny. The thing is, I still like DW because she is a little brat, but she's very funny about being a little brat. I'm actually going to be drawing DW instead of Arthur because I want to. Yeah, she gave us such gems as, "Why don't you go back to your own house and stop bothering us?" Like, aren't you a lonely child? And then Arthur's like, "It's only child, DW. A lonely child is what you're gonna be when I sell you." It's like, what? And there's like a whole, and there's like an episode, a rather famous episode, where Arthur punches DW in the face, for deliberately like ignoring his like request to like, "Hey, this model plane I've been working on isn't a toy, please don't touch it." But then she does, and she throws it out a window, and it breaks because it's a toy. It's not a toy, it's a model, and it can't fly. And he's very angry about this. That's where the iconic image of the close-up of his fist comes from. DW probably had it coming a little bit though, because her parents don't discipline her, like hardly ever. like the worst that she'll get is like a little slap on the wrist for the most part. I'm not saying that you should punch children, because that's bad and mean. What I am saying is that DW probably did deserve a punishment for what she did, and the episode treats DW like she didn't do anything wrong. And that Arthur is the one completely in the wrong because he hit her. They're both in the wrong. But anyway. And yeah, outside of DW, the show is also very good. Buster is Arthur's best friend. He's very silly. He's kind of like a conspiracy theorist. He believes in aliens and like a bunch of other like cool things. And he's also the origin of the iconic, "You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?" Like, yeah, this show has so many memes. I guess there's just so many like funny things in the show became iconic memes. Yeah, I like Buster a lot. Outside of Buster, there's also Muffy and Francine, who are best friends, but they also kind of hate each other's guts. And I can tolerate them more than Violet and Becky from Word Girl, because like the beef is mutual. Like if one of them starts bullying each other, then like the other will fight back. Like it's not just one of them's mean and the other one takes it. No, they bully each other like constantly, but they're still each other's best friend. And that's kind of interesting to me. I think it's neat. A lot of people also hate Muffy and Francine, which I do understand, but I don't, because they're funny. Like, a lot of the I find a lot of the characters in the show very funny, or at least endearing. So I can't really think of any that I hate. Like, even the bully, Binky, he isn't really like a bully for like a lot of the show, or at least like most of what I saw growing up. Like, he's kind of like Buford from Phineas and Ferb, where like they say he's a bully, but then like he's kind of only a bully for like the early show, and then like the rest of it, he's kind of just one of the gang who's a little bit mean sometimes. Like, Binky gets so much depth, bro. He gets so much character development. Like, we find out that he likes ballet, and he gets an and then, like, later on, there's a whole, special where he goes to China with his parents to adopt a baby sister, and he becomes, like, a really sweet older brother. And he also, like, in the episodes where we found out that he's into ballet, he's also, like, being kind of a big brother to DW. Like, he's honestly, like, a better big brother than Arthur, but he also doesn't have to live with her, so fair enough. Yeah, he has, like, a very sweet dynamic with a lot of people that he interacts with. He's just, like, a sweetheart, like, for most of the show. And, like, he's insecure about his nickname that his mom has for him. And he's worried that his friends won't like him. Because his friends are also, like, bullies, but they stay, like, bullies, or at least mean a lot longer than he does. Like, they don't really get as much development. Like, the most development any of them gets is, Molly, this really cool girl, whose, like, hairstyle, I love her hairstyle so much, dude. I basically just copy-pasted it onto, my character Polly, because I love it so much. But anyway, Molly's, like, the only one aside from Binky who gets, like, some development, at least as far as I can remember, because, like, we find out her sad origin story where she got bullied as a kid, so now she's a bully. But her little brother also gets bullied, and she's like, no, I'm the only one who can bully my little brother. And she tries to make sure that her brother doesn't end up as a bully like her, and it's very sweet. And her little brother, James, ends up kind of becoming DW's boyfriend a little bit. Like, you know, like kindergarten boyfriend, where like they hold hands and whatever. But James doesn't really like her. He's just kind of scared of her, which fair enough. Like, DW just like comes up to him and he's like, hey, you're my boyfriend now. And he's like, what? And then she starts holding his hand and he's like, okay, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. I think, probably one of my favorite episodes is, a Halloween special. I honestly don't remember if all of this happens in the same special, or if I'm, like, getting them all mixed up into, like, one, like, blob in my brain. But there's, a Halloween special, where, the thing that I, like, remember most is Mr. Ratburn, the teacher guy, set up this super elaborate, like, haunted house in his house, and it's Edgar Allan Poe themed, and I loved it when I was younger, because I was really into Edgar Allan Poe. Shocker, I know. Bars? Anyway, and it was very neat. Like, I wanted to go to this haunted house, like, it was so cool. Like, he had... Ice maker's being really loud, sorry about that. And it was kind of like an escape room type thing, where, like, you had to, like, solve Edgar Allan Poe related puzzles, and, like, every room was themed after a different poem or story. And then at the end, you got these, like, cool gummy, skeletons. They weren't actually gummies, they were, like, licorice. And I hate licorice, but I'd probably still eat these because they looked really good. But nobody, like, came to his house because he's the teacher guy, and everybody just assumes, oh, he's gonna give out, like, dental floss or something boring like that. And Binky's the only one who ends up going. Not even because he wanted to, but because he, like, I think he accidentally left his backpack there or something. But he needs to, like, he needs to get something from Mr. Ratburn. But he accidentally ends up, like, getting into the haunted house. And then like, he's like, wow, Mr. Ratburn, this house is so cool. These licorice skeletons are awesome. And Mr. Ratburn's like, thank you, Binky. I just wish everyone else could enjoy it. I got so much candy. You can have as much as you want, I guess. And it's very sad. I'd go to your haunted house, Mr. Ratburn, because it was very cool. Mr. Ratburn in general is just really cool. I didn't like him as a kid. I think it's just because, like, he was, like, the teacher character, and usually you're not really supposed to like the teacher character unless it's the Magic School Bus. Because, like, the teacher represents the man and authority. They don't get us kids. They don't know how to have fun and, like, loosen up and stuff. But no, Master Ratburn's the goat. Or the rat, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Oh, there was another character I really liked as a kid. Her name was Fern. I think she was supposed to be a dog, but I'm not sure. Probably a dog. Anyway, and she was friends with this moose guy. I think his name was. Oh my gosh. Wait. Hang on. sorry, I had to look up his name real quick. Gracious. His name was George. So yeah, Fern was friends with this guy named George. And they would like play detective together and like write mystery stories. I really liked Fern as a kid. Cause like I was like, oh, she's just like me for real. She likes writing stories and like she likes spies and mysteries and stuff. And I really liked spies and mysteries and stuff. And I also just like really liked her design. Like, aside from Molly, she was like my favorite character, like appearance-wise. And George has like, I also really like George. He has like a ventriloquist puppet that I don't remember if he made it or his dad made it, but one of them made it. Named Wally, and it's a giraffe. And he like and he'll like bust it out if he's like too socially anxious to like talk. Or like just for fun. Like Wally's like his imaginary friend. And I really like it. Like episodes about him and Wally are always so fun because it's like full of like dream sequences and stuff. The show has a lot of like dream sequences, but especially the George-centric episodes. There's also another girl. I think her name's Priscilla. I think. But she's like really into like the occult and like the paranormal and like witch stuff. And like she and Fern are also friends. And they read, and she's like reading this book that's like I think it's like a Harry Potter knockoff, but I don't fully remember. It's probably meant to be a Harry Potter knockoff. Yeah, an episode about her and that book is how I learned how to say Persephone. Because, like, she's, like, talking about the book to Mr. Ratburn, and one of the main characters is named Persephone. But she says Persephone, which is how I thought it was said. But then Mr. Ratburn's like, oh, you mean Persephone, the Greek goddess of the spring. And I was like, that's how you say it? And I felt like a dumb idiot. But, yeah. That scene is like stuck in my brain for some reason, like, ah, yes, Persephone, the Greek goddess of spring. And then she's like, I thought it was Persephone. No, you silly child, it's Persephone. I was like, oh. So yeah, I guess Arthur is educational to some extent, because I learned how to say Persephone before I ended up saying it out loud to somebody and making a fool of myself. It did not save me, however, from embarrassing myself by saying another word wrong. Cause like, one time when I was younger, for some reason the topic of, like, star signs got brought up, and like, I think my dad was like, I'm a Taurus, don't mess with the bull or you'll get the horns, or something like that, cause that's like something he does sometimes, like, as a funny bit. And I was like, oh yeah, and I'm a Gemini. And they were like, what did you just say? And I'm like, I'm a Gemini. Because that's how I thought it. I thought that's how you said Gemini. But then they just laughed at me. And I felt like a dumb idiot. But I was also like 13 or 14. Like, I'd never heard that word said out loud before. And Gemini made the most sense to me to say out loud. But anyway, that story wasn't fully related, but whatever, it's funny. And yeah, there was this one episode that really, like, got into my brain. And it was when, Muffy and Francine, like, tried to be vegetarians. Like, 'cause this other girl was a vegetarian, for like, the normal reasons, like, the first girl, like, wanted to be a vegetarian for, like, environmental reasons, and, like, she didn't want to like hurt pigs or whatever, but she didn't really care if other people were vegetarians. Like, it was just a personal thing for her. And that's how it should be, I think. Because, like, I feel like that was a pretty unique interpretation, because, like, everything I've seen, like, every piece of media I've seen that, like, has like, a character be vegetarian, they're always, like, so pretentious about it, like, oh, I could never eat meat. I don't want to hurt the animals. Like, oh, you're a monster for eating meat. I could never. Like, that's how I feel like vegetarians are portrayed most of the time in media. But the show was just like, nah, I don't really want to eat meat, because I like saw like some pigs and I thought they were really cute. And it's also like environmental stuff and blah blah blah. But I don't care if you guys are vegetarian. Like, actually, like, in the show, in that episode, like, Muffy and Francine are like only becoming vegetarians to like compete with each other, because that's how they do. And the entire time the girl's like, hey guys, you can eat meat if you want, I don't really care. You guys clearly aren't doing this out of like a genuine reason. You're just trying to one-up each other, and that's kind of shitty. Muffy doesn't do very well, because like she has very little impulse control, and also her dad did what I did when I was a little kid, and I was like, I'm gonna be a vegetarian when I was like 7. Like, I'm gonna be a vegetarian. And my dad was like, you sure? I was like, yeah! He was like, okay. And then that night he made ham, which was one of my favorite foods as a kid, and I caved, like, within 24 hours. And that's basically what happens to Muffy. Like, her dad makes roast beef, or has, like, their butler make roast beef, because she's rich and fancy. And during dinner, she's, like, calling up the first girl, like, hey, so what if, like, some meat accidentally falls into my mouth? Would I be able to eat it then? And the girl's like, just eat the meat. I don't care, dude. Like, it's none of my business. Like, just eat it. Who cares? And she ends up doing that. I think. I might be misremembering. I think that's what happens, though. But yeah, either way, she fails first. And then Francine's like, ha! You loser. I'm gonna beat you. And she technically does. But she has, like, hallucinations of hamburgers and stuff. But she manages to resist the urge. And she only loses because Muffy literally tricks her into eating meat. Which doesn't just affect Francine, like, it affects the first girl too. Cause, like, Muffy was hosting a potluck. But every time, for her friends and stuff, but every time someone was like, oh, I'll bring this plant-based dish, she was like, no, I think someone's already bringing that. How about you bring meatballs instead? So, like, there was no vegetarian options at all. So Francine and, like, the first girl were like, hey, this isn't cool, dude. And the first girl especially is like, guys, can you stop trying to one-up each other? It's like, it sucks. But then, like, Francine, like, manages to find, like, a salad, and Muffy's like, how dare you eat a salad? And, like, Francine's like, oh, yay, there is a vegetarian option. But then, like, the person who brought it's like, actually, that's not vegetarian, I stewed that in duck fat, because she's, like, the hillbilly girl. And then, like, Francine's like, no! And it's, like, kind of a joke, but also not, because, like, she, like, was literally tricked into eating something that she didn't want to eat, and that's really gross. Like, don't do that, guys. And then the first girl, like, gets very upset. She's like, okay, I don't want to talk to you guys anymore. You guys are, like, really obnoxious. But by the end of the episode, they all make up, and they agree, like, hey, we're not gonna be vegetarians unless, like, we actually, like, want to be for personal reasons. And they apologize, and they, like, bring her a salad or something. I don't fully remember. But then, like, she forgives them because she's nice. Even though I can't remember her name. Oh, Sue Ellen! Dude, the whole time, I couldn't remember her name. Her name is Sue Ellen. She's like a cat. Sue Ellen's episodes are, like, almost always, like, her just, like, getting bullied, though. Or, like, getting dragged into other people's crap. Like, one of the most infamous episodes of Arthur is of her getting bullied by Arthur, because she got this coat from her pen pal in Tibet, I think, foreign country. She got this really cool coat from, her pen pal, and Arthur, like, offhandedly makes a joke, like, oh, it kind of makes you look like a sheepdog, and then everyone laughs, including Sue Ellen, and they're like, oh yeah, that's so silly, good one, Arthur. But then he keeps milking the joke until, like, it's not funny anymore, and it's, like, actually starting to bother her, and she's like, hey, can you stop calling me a sheepdog? I don't really like that. And he's like, oh, it's just a joke, and then he keeps doing it, and he keeps doing it, and he keeps doing it, until, like, she goes to, like, the teacher, Mr. Rapwin, like, hey, Arthur's bullying me, like, really badly, and Mr. Rapwin's like, well, we can't have that, and he like, pulls Arthur aside, like, hey, jokes are only funny if other people are laughing, and if you're the only one laughing, it's not cool, especially if the person you're making jokes about has told you not to. I want you to write an apology to Sue Ellen, and, like, knock it off, okay? And Arthur's like, this is so lame, I'm really funny, guys. So he writes his apology, but he must have gone to, like, the YouTuber school of apologizing or something, because, like, his apology basically boils down to, I'm sorry you couldn't take a joke. Like, it isn't even sorry, like, it isn't even like, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. It's like, I'm sorry that you felt that way. And that sucks, dude. And, like, it gets to the point where, like, she's about to, like, change schools, because, like, he won't stop. And it's like, genuinely, like, hurting her feelings. Like, she throws away the sweater, and it meant so much to her. Like, she, like, puts it, like, in a giveaway box. And, like, dude, like, literally starts, like, not just harassing her at school, but, like, he sends her an email of, like, he makes, like, an email of, like, a photoshopped picture of herself with like, a sheepdog head, and it's so gross. Like, Arthur sucks in this episode, and it's so out of character, because, like, Arthur can be, like, sassy, but his sass is usually directed at somebody who, like, deserves it, or, like, at least a little bit deserves it. Like, Sue Ellen has never been anything but nice to him. Like, the other characters, like, will bully him sometimes, kind of like Charlie Brown, but, like, she literally never bullies him, at least from what I can remember. There's, like, a million episodes, so maybe she was mean in one of them, I don't know. But I digress. He does eventually, like, realize that he sucks, and he apologizes. Like, after he sees her, like, throwing away the coat, and then, like, realizes that she's transferring schools because of him, he, like, chases after her, and he's like, wait, I'm sorry. But then he, like, actually apologizes good, and then they make up, and that's, like, that's it. Yeah, the episode kind of stinks. It's a good message, but, like, why is Arthur the one being a bully? Why wouldn't, this feels more like, a Muffy or Francine thing, or, like, I would say Binky, but he's barely a bully, like especially, like, by the time this episode came out. Like, he literally, like, calls out Arthur, like, man, you suck. Yeah, this doesn't really feel like an Arthur thing. I don't know. Anyway, excellent show. The finale was okay. I didn't hate it as much as other people did, but I also didn't love it as much as other people did. I thought it was okay. Well, that was a long one. If you stayed around for the whole video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I have a poll going currently to decide the topic of the next video. But currently it looks like it's probably going to be recapping a fanfiction I wrote when I was like 13. So, yeah, that's gonna be very fun, hopefully. If you liked the video, please leave a like and comment your favorite PBS Kids shows. Did you want to be on Fetch too? Would you be on it now if you could? I hope you have a great night, day, or whatever time it is where you are. Cheers!